Jeffrey Delapiana and Vince Allil with you live tonight on Tewksbury TV. Vince, we got an exciting one in the MVC girls basketball as the Tewksbury Redmen host the Haverhill Hillies.
And absolutely, and good to see you again, my friend, and we'll see you down the road, as this will be our last game together for the next few weeks anyway, unless something special happens and we fly you in from Syracuse University. This could be a great ball game here tonight. We talked about just a couple nights ago, we were here at the Romano, and we watched what this Tewksbury Redmen girls team is capable of. A 19-point outburst in the third after scoring 19 in the first half, and then the breaks just went. They scored just a few points in that fourth quarter. We talked about putting 4 quarters together. Let's see if they can start with 2 and then build on that, because they are capable of putting together, and we witnessed it the other night.
And a couple of fresh faces in the starting lineup tonight for the Redmen. Making their first starts of the season are Emily Pitcher, Dakota Malzia, and Alyssa Adams. We'll talk more about Adams a little bit more into this game, but Sam Ryan and Kat McDonald, the only 2 starters that remain from Tuesday's loss against North Andover. The Hillies have won the opening toss. It's a young group of Haverhill Hillies as they are sitting at 3-5 this season, a young freshman class as we got an early foul 10 seconds into the ball game. It'll go against Dakota Malzia.
Right off the bat, an offensive rebound given up by the Redmen, and you're right, Andrew, a very young Hilly ball club. Keep an eye on 21, 22, 23. Affectionately dubbed the Trio.
Trio by the Haverhill basketball program. Hopefully can turn their program around. They went 4-16 last year, graduating 6 seniors, and already just one win away, I should say, from tying last year's win total. 30 seconds into the ball game, still looking for our first bucket. There's one of the freshmen. That's Jaslyn Moore putting up a shot that's too strong. In pitcher battling with the board with the senior captain, Haley Phillips. It'll be Redmen basketball.
When you look early on, that one possession for the Redmen, trying to force that tempo. Had an opportunity, McDonald with the layup on the right side, defended nicely by the Hillies. Second possession here for your Redmen.
The 3 leading scorers from Tuesday's matchup against the Knights getting the start tonight. Alyssa Adams had a big 12 off the bench, a career high for her. And Kat McDonald pushing in 11, and Sam Ryan also in double figures with 10 in that loss.
And Coach McNaught will not have the services tonight of number 22, Victoria Catanzano, out with a knee injury.
Still looking for our first bucket tonight from the Romano Friday Night Lights inside TMHS. Sam Ryan goes up strong but well defended in the paint by the junior Sydney Spencer. As we mentioned, we keep an eye locked on the number 3 freshman for the Hillies. That's second team all-conference member Haley Phillips, too strong on the fadeaway. McDonald, the elbow jumper, gets the friendly bounce, and the Redmen have the first bucket of the night. It's 2 very evenly matched teams, not just record-wise, but skill-wise as well. We've seen some good matchups between the rest of the MVCs and some similar results for either side. McDonald on the hard drive, off the glass and in, goes high off the window. And the Redmen are out to a 4-0 lead, a minute 30 into the game.
Kat McDonald bringing that A game here early with all 4 Redmen points in the early going.
Redmen with a strong hold defensively early on, and a jump ball that'll stay with Haverhill. Getting to know the Hillies a little bit more, as I mentioned, a 3-5 record for them, losing on Tuesday night, and there's their first point of the night. It goes to Sydney Spencer, straightaway 3.
There's a no-doubter, too, right off the inbounds. Set a 3-person screen at the free throw line. That freed Spencer up to knock it down.
McDonald trying to answer with a long 2, doesn't do so. Malzia wasn't able to control the offensive board, Haverhill ball. 2 minutes into our first quarter, Tewksbury 4, Haverhill 3. MVC girls basketball live tonight from the Romano Gymnasium. A much-needed win for either side tonight. Both teams are below the 500 mark. Nice little give and go there between Ortiz and Spencer. And putting it back there is Jaslyn Mora, and Haverhill takes their first lead of the night.
Nobody blocked out Mora on the weak side. Albeit just a freshman, she's got that length right there, and she elevated for the rebound and the putback.
Offensive rebounding was a big factor for the Scarlet Knights' win over Tuesday against the Redmen. Adams has her first 3 of the night. Rebound into the hands of the freshman Mora. Got a carrying violation going against Mora. And the miscue result in the Redmen taking possession.
If this were only the N1 mixtape tour, that would have been a legal play. However, it's not, and it wasn't.
Had a good documentary series out on Netflix.
Oh, nice. I got to check that.
3 minutes into our first quarter, Haverhill 5, Tewksbury 4. One of the players making her first start, we mentioned her earlier on, Emily Pitcher. She's been a nice spark plug off the bench usually this season, but Coach McNult inserting her into the starting lineup for the first time this season. Looking for a nice switch up.
Great job by Pitcher to show the pump fake up that drew the defender up, which was Mora, her first, and she fouled her as she put the ball to the floor.
Pitcher working the baseline, swatted away by Mora. It's right back in the hands of Pitcher. It's too strong on the layup. And it's cleared away by the Hillies, who are moving in transition. Mora, the floater, a nice touch. 7-4 Haverhill.
That's a freshman.
Yes.
Okay, just checking. I'm making sure that wasn't a typo, because that was a senior move right there.
Phillips hits the floor, throws it out right into the hands of Sam Ryan, though. There's Malzia on the back door, and she's fouled first for Lily Phillips.
See, the thing about having a young ball club is you're going to take your lumps early on. But now, a couple of years down the road, when these freshmen and sophomore have been playing and starting for 2 or 3 years, they are seasoned vets at that time in their career.
And that's why I think head coach Melissa Tarpey, 10th year with the Hillies, is a big factor of bringing these freshmen in this season. When we spoke with her earlier today, they've been playing together since middle school, the freshman trio. And they are the right three in order to turn this program around with the hefty 6 seniors graduating last season.
Malazia knocks them both down, cuts the lead to 1.
4:20 played in our first quarter. Great defense by Pitcher, and Spencer throws it away with no black jersey around to help.
Here was Pitcher, however, there was no catcher for the ball, and it went out of bounds, and a good turnover defensive stand there by the Redmen.
Adams from the wing. It's good. Immediately, Melissa Tarpey takes a timeout, and Alyssa Adams is on the board with her first tray of the night.
And again, a no-doubter. And I like that in a shooter. That's the shooter's mentality. You get your feet set. As soon as you grab possession of the ball, it's gone. And she squared up nicely with the left hand and swished it from the left wing.
And she's been someone that has definitely become a little bit more comfortable as this season's gone on, Vince. Didn't see her a lot in the first couple of games of the season. Became more off a bench presence through the last couple of games, and now making her starting debut. Could be a name we could hear a lot more deeper into the season with shots like that and plays like that, especially on the defensive end.
It just gives your team such a different look when you're matching up. If you have shooters like that on the perimeter, people on the inside, like, you know, Samantha Ryan and Riley Viets, they can operate a little more freely on the inside if the defense is if the offensive shooters are forcing the defense to step out and respect that long-range shooting.
And definitely shooting for the Redmen has been a lot better over these last 2 games. As we mentioned, going in the North Andover game, this team was struggling mightily from the field and especially from behind the arc in order to get points. But hopefully we can see a switch for this Redmen ball club, knocking down more shots at the offensive end and making opposing offenses have to work even harder at the defensive end.
Just got a call from Joe Namath. He said it's struggling.
Halfway through the first quarter, Tewksbury 9, Haverhill 7.
Out of the timeout, the Redmen will come back in a zone defense now to change things up a little bit.
Force the pass inside to Phillips, who can't corral it, stolen away by Pitcher. The run out from McDonald goes right at the defender, was looking for a foul, didn't get one.
Joel McNult was wondering why they didn't get one.
Jaslyn Mora, no one covering her in the zone. Karam's off the rim. McDonald got sloppy with it at the timeline. Mora back the other way with 3 white jerseys on her back, but doesn't matter.
Mora's got 6 of the Hilly 9 here in this first period.
We are even at 9, 3:10 remaining in the first quarter. Back and forth battle in this first quarter. Sam Ryan with the and one, and she does.
Impressive part of that, she shot it with her right hand, the offhand.
A member of the second team all-conference last year, Sam Ryan, still trying to find her stride in the season.
Who was that foul on? What number? What number was the foul on?
Gave that one to Haley Phillips on the N1.
Great finish by Ryan again with the offhand. She's a lefty, shot it with the right for the hoop and the harm.
12-9, the Redmond advantage, under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. A long three taken by Spencer's off the offensive board, though, grabbed by Ortiz. Swinging around. Phillips knocks down the tray.
Well, Phillips' foul resulted in a Redmond three-pointer. She answers with a three-pointer of her own at the other end.
Pitcher with the open lane off the left. Nice move by Pitcher to fake out the defense, who gave her the wide open lane. The lead is 2 for the Redmen. 2:20 to go in our first quarter. Phillips hits back iron, offensive board though for Mora. Phillies have had a couple of those in this first. In and out on the three taken by Lily Phillips, but Malzia stepped out of bounds.
I want to take a look at the scoreboard, Andrew. 2:06 left in this first period. The Redmen already with 14 points. We've talked so many times about they go in those scoring droughts. This is a great start for them offensively.
We see our first 2 substitutions of the night for the Redmen: Victoria Lavarnia and Brooklyn DeGrishi, taking out Alyssa Adams and Dakota Malzia. In some traffic, corralled by Spencer, and she's fouled on the way up to the cup. That one goes to Lavarnia, who just entered into the ball game.
Spencer's got that three-pointer here in this first quarter.
One of the few upperclassmen on this squad. Here comes another freshman into the game, Holly Khrushchev, replacing Jaslyn Mora. Spencer knocks down both, and we are tied again at 14. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the opening frame. Seen some good offense from both sides early on. Ryan on the cut. Varnia, a little hesitation, floats it up with the left. Battle for the board. Great work by Spencer to fend off Sam Ryan. She's able to draw the foul as well.
That'll be the first on Ryan. Riley Viets comes in to replace Samantha Ryan.
3 team fouls aside. Just about everything even on the scoreboard. Into the far corner. Try to reverse it back the other way, but McDonald got a piece. Redmond, odd man rush. Euro step by McDonald through the contact. Coach McDonald looking for an and one.
Quick start for McDonald. 6 points already in this ball game with just over a minute left in the first.
Baseline drive by Spencer, but that left foot stepped out of bounds. Number 12, Diamond Bellard into the lineup, replacing the senior captain, Haley Phillips. 60 seconds in quarter number 1. Redmond up by 2. Lavarnia from the wing. Bang! Redmond, what a hot start out of the gate shooting-wise in this first quarter.
The other night they scored 19 in the first half, 19 in the third. They've got 19 already on the clock here with just about a half minute left.
35 seconds, 12-second difference. And that ball goes right into the hands of DeGrishi. Redmond with numbers on the run out, and Lavarnia just took that extra step, and it's travel.
Good execution, just unable to finish it and convert off the turnover. They had a 3-on-1, and they ran the lanes. They spread themselves out to make it difficult for the defender to guard all 3 of them. Just that, like you said, Andrew, that one extra step cost them the turnover.
Shot clock is dead. The Hillies down by 5. Skylar Roth fresh off the bench with a steal. Threw it behind Lavarnia, out of bounds. I'll say my bad to that on Lavarnia. Phillies once again with the shot clock being dead and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Pull-up jumper, what a shot taken by Morrow. Right in the face of Off. Beats will give it a final heave, and that'll take care of quarter number 1. Our score, the Tewksbury Redmen 19 and the Haverhill Hillies 17. Vince, an impressive first quarter for the Redmen, 19 points through the first 8 minutes.
Absolutely, and McDonald leading the way with 6 in that first quarter, and the other way for the Hillies, freshman Jaslyn Mora with 9. And I got to tell you, as a freshman, that play she just did towards the end of the first quarter, between the circles, the crossover, the step through with the between the legs dribble, and the stop on a dime from the top of the key, no doubter. That was a very impressive move for a freshman.
It was a beauty, and this lineup, as we mentioned a few times, is full of freshmen. Definitely shown their youth a couple of times in that first quarter. Got a little sloppy on the offensive end, but still hanging tough, though, with a veteran squad in the Tewksbury Redmen.
Well, we can fall back on that number 19
Yep.
again. They had 19 at the half the other night against North Andover, 19 in the third. They got 19 after 1 here. So the objective is to carry that scoring for another quarter and then build on that. Let's see how they open up the second.
Just 3 points in that fourth quarter against the Scarlet Knights back on Tuesday, which turned to be an absolute killer for Coach Joel McNaught and the Redmen. Just joining us on Tewksbury TV, Andrew Del Piano alongside Vince Allo. We're through 1 quarter play at the Romano. Tewksbury 19, Haverhill 17, as we get the second quarter underway in MVC girls basketball.
You don't have to, it'd be nice to put up another 19, but get 14, 15. You're already above your season average at that point. So those are things you look to build upon if you're Coach Mignol as you head into this second period.
Got a good matchup between the Redmen and the Hillies tonight. Haverhill at 3-5, currently 40th in the Division I girls basketball power rankings that were released today. For the Redmen out of Division II, 2-5, and they are 29th in their respective division rankings. Lavarnia called for her second travel just like that. She's had a couple of turnovers in the early going.
Might be safe to say that I don't believe that's how Coach McNaught drew it up. But they have an opportunity to earn it back at the defensive end.
Haverhill brings their starters back onto the floor to begin the second quarter. Moore, as you mentioned, she was star-studded in the first quarter. Defensive board taken by Riley Viets. McDonald trying to force that ball to Lavarnia, gets it off. Great defense by Moore, went straight up to intercept the pass. Ortiz will now slow things down and run the offense. Billy Phillips, free throw line jumper. Redmen still leading 19-17 a minute into quarter number 2. Sam Ryan, her first tray. Rebound comes all the way out to the three-point line, recovered by Lavarnia, and a fresh 35. Ryan, step back, the long 2 with a hand in her face. Ball finds the hands of Viets, who short arms it. Jaslyn Mora pulls up once again. Ball last off the fingertips of Ortiz. Redmen basketball, and we'll get substitutions for either side.
Adams checking back in for the Redmen. Allie Powell, I believe, seeing her first action for the Hillies.
.90 seconds played in quarter number 2. Tewksbury 19, Haverhill 17. Redmen reverse it at the perimeter. Off, working baseline, takes the contact. Can't convert. Still looking for our first bucket of this second quarter. Spencer for 3. Oth will now try. Adams grabs the offensive glass. Back to a cut for McDonald. And a lay whistle comes in for a foul against Haverhill.
You know, Lily Phillips, her second. McDonald with 6 already in this first half. Looking to put up the first points here for either ball club here with just over 2 minutes gone in the second period.
McDonald gets the friendly roll, makes it a 3-point Redmond lead. Billy Phillips takes a seat, and Ortiz returns. Got a lane violation against the Redmond. It will be Haverhill basketball. (2017) our score in favor of the Redmen. Laura, she's been fun to watch in this first half. Kicks out the 3. Both teams struggling to find the bottom of the cup in this second quarter. Until we get to find our first made field goal.
Foul on Yemelet Ortiz, her first. Foul starting to add up here for the Hillies now, the 5th on the team.
Haverhill with a short bench tonight. There's 9 players on that roster coming into this game. McDonald with a crossover, shimmies her way through. And a foul on the board. Goes against Riley Viets.
First on Viets, only the 4th on the team. Tremendous crossover at the free throw line by McDonald. Just couldn't convert it at the offensive end.
3 minutes into the second quarter. Tewksbury leading by 3. Hillies working the perimeter. Spencer got hit on the way up by Sam Ryan. She'll get 2 at the charity stripe.
That'll be the 2nd on Ryan.
Spencer no good on the first of 2. Emily Pitcher returns, replacing Kat McDonald. Spencer swishes home the second. Hillies down by 2. 5 minutes to play in half number 1. Redmond still looking for that first made field goal. Adams, the 3 is short. Sam Ryan pulls it up, and it was Haley Phillips getting a piece of it. Bad pass by Ortiz, looking for Phillips on the low block, and it's a Haverhill turnover.
Yeah, it's a freshman move right there. You're going to get that experience and realize that you can't throw it at that angle. You got to come a little bit wider, almost in front of the Redmond bench, and then throw that bounce pass. It was just a bad angle that time by the freshman.
Both offenses in a rut in this second quarter. Just a combined 2 points coming off of free throws. Emily Pitcher, first field goal of this second quarter for the Redmen.
Great backdoor cut and a beautiful feed and a conversion by Pitcher.
Now they'll work the low block for Phillips. Trying a hook shot on Sam Ryan. Great Viets keeping that inbounds. Pass a little bit too strong for Pitcher. Adams had the right idea. Vince, both teams getting good looks in this second quarter, but shots just haven't been able to fall.
Yeah, can't take the lid off the rim right now in this second period. But still, if you're Coach Mignol, 22 points on the board right now, as we're just over the halfway point of the second period, is a good showing by them and good defense for a turnover right in front of their bench.
Redmond forcing 11 steals Tuesday night against the Scarlet Knights, a team who's definitely destined for the state tournament this season. Got another carrying violation. This one goes against the Redmen in Alyssa Adams.
We'd probably go months without seeing that call. We've seen it twice here in the first half.
3:40 remains in our second quarter. Tewksbury 22, Haverhill 18. Last out on the Redmen. Haverhill basketball as the shot clock will reset. Phillips has had those open looks at the top of the key. Just been a off shooting night for the Hillies. Into the hands of the star, Jaslyn Mora, who wants the one-on-one with Pitcher. Long two.
Veets has been active at the defensive end, clearing rebounds for the Redmen in this first half.
Great pass by Adams. Dakota Malzio can't control. Veets off the glass. Nice possession by her. Off right off the inbound. No good. All the way into the front court, the basketball goes. Last off of Haverhill, trying to force things up the floor.
It's good to get production out of a Riley Veets if you're Coach McNaught. A couple of big defensive rebounds and the offensive conversion. The last Redmond possession, they've got 24 on the board, a 6-point lead. So maybe that third period from the other night is carried over. It was just a quarter too late.
Veets get it the start on Tuesday. Wasn't the production that Coach McNaught wanted from number 33, but definitely some strong minutes off the bench tonight. Dangerous pass, Adams corrals. Lavarnia the three. Ortiz scoops it up. Now will fire. Rebound comes all the way to the out-of-bounds line, Redmond ball. .220 to go in our first half. Tewksbury 24, Haverhill 18. Adams rises and fires. Redmond with numbers back, trying to slow down the fast break. Scoop shot taken by Ortiz. Had no teammates around her, but ultimately draws the foul.
Varnia, her second. Earlier in this half, we saw, for a freshman, a great move by Mora. That time there, it was Ortiz with a hesitation dribble on the wing.
Ortiz able to freeze Veets with the air ball. The putback, though, right there. Diamond Ballard, right place, right time.
Cuts it down to a 4-point lead for the Redmen. Just under 2 minutes left, first half.
Minute 45 left in the first half. Redmond leading by 4. Nazia on the up fake, goes up strong. Defensive board corralled by Phillips. Ortiz wants to push for the Hillies. Mora goes right in the chest of Lavarnia. Ball pinballs around, finds the hands of Pitcher with some speed into the front court. Last off of Haley Phillips. Redmond ball.
3-on-1, and Pitcher just decided, I'm going to take it myself because no one's coming over to me. The last minute, the defense shifted. A little bit of contact, but it's Redmond basketball.
Veets looking to spin off Ballard. Pitcher, step back straightaway three. Minute 5 to play in a second quarter. Redmen holding a 4-point lead. Mora had some extra time and gets the friendly bounce for the Hillies. That was a nice little dish there by Ortiz to nutmeg Kat McDonald.
Yeah, right between the legs on the bounce pass. 9 in the ball game now. Actually, check that. That's 11 in the ball game.
Aaron pass by McDonald, intercepted by Phillips.
Mora with 11 after having 9 in that first period.
Hillies trailing by a possession. Freshman trio really going to work now in the second quarter. Great block by McDonald, getting a piece of it on the shot from Ortiz.
Coach McNaught barking out the instructions, wanting one shot.
And that's a take foul by Jaslyn Mora to slow down the possession. The Hillies did have a foul to give, and a smart one at that. Haverhill with some limited numbers on the bench. You can start to see that fatigue already kicking in. Gotta wonder what they have left in the tank for the second half. Malzia the fadeaway, and blocking that and fouling Malzia, Haley Phillips. She's a nice presence in the paints. Got a little bit too much of the arm on the shot.
Here's a good news, bad news situation. Good news is picked up a foul and 2 free throws for Malazia. Bad news is it left 9 seconds on the clock.
Redmond trying to rush that possession a little bit too much. Not sure if they realized, Vince, that the shot clock was dead. Going to the bench is Phillips. She was second team all-conference last year for Haverhill. One of the lone seniors on this club. Malzia misses both. Still a time for Haverhill to get one more shot off as the clock ticks down, but they got to go. Pass off the fingertips of Ortiz. 1.6 seconds. Redmond can try to get a half-court attempt here. But Lavarnia can't get it off. That'll do it for the opening half of play. Our score through 16 minutes. Tewksbury 24, Haverhill 22. Both teams will head to the locker room. Stay tuned, though. We got more Redmond girls basketball coming your way after the halftime break. Stay tuned. We welcome you back inside the Romano Gymnasium for half number 2 of MVC girls basketball. The Haverhillies at the Tewksbury Redmond. Andrew Del Piana and Vince Alla with you live tonight on Tewksbury TV. Vince, a slow second quarter before each of these teams. And after an impressive first quarter, we just saw a combined 10 points for either side. The Redmen up by 2 going into this third.
Yeah, after a 19-17 lead after 1, the Redmen and the Hillies tied at 5 apiece, as you said, in that second quarter. Scoring-wise in the first half, the Hillies were led by Jaslyn Mora with 11. She had 9 of those 11 in the first period. And Kat McDonald with 7 leading the scoring for the Redmen in that first half. No real foul situations to speak of, but this is the crucial quarter, we'll call it. Let's see what the Redmen can do coming out of the locker room here to start this third quarter.
And it was a sloppy second quarter for each of these teams, as we just mentioned. Just a combined 10 points between these two teams. It was probably about 2 or 3 made field goals in that second quarter. Both teams trying to get into a nice groove here, fresh out of the locker room.
4 total.
Field
goals in
wow.
that second.
Yeah, it's a low number. Hillies with the basketball, trailing by 2 to begin our third quarter. Missing the layup on the far side of the rim there was Phillips. Mora hustling back on defense, swatting that away from Ryan. Redmond looking for a spark in this third quarter to get the offense going. Malzia back iron. The offensive board for Kat McDonald. Sam Ryan. McDonald earns another offensive board.
Yeah, she's all over the place in this third quarter in the early stages.
Dangerous pass looking for Adams, tipped away by Mora. Adams with a step, and the floater's good. Great work by Adams to keep that play alive and then went right to the tin. Mora, she's a shooter, can't leave her open, as Sam Ryan just didn't step up in the zone defense.
Right off the dribble from the perimeter, Cords.
I don't think she realized how open she was,
Nope.
Vince. Malzia off again. It's been a tough night for her from the field. 90 seconds into quarter number 3. The Redmen leading by 1. Ortiz in some trouble. 15 to shoot for the Hillies. Still lots of time left on the possession. We'll get into the hands of Mora, who's been tough to stop tonight. Another 3, this time from the corner. Nothing but the air. McDonald with a 2-on-1. Great dish over for Pitcher, who converts.
That's how you convert a transition break right there for the Redmen.
Seen a couple of those 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s for the Redmen that have gone by the wayside, but McDonald does a good job of keeping her head up. Spencer short arms the 3. It's been a tough shooting night for the Haverhill Hillies. Cross-court dish. McDonald goes up, fouled from behind by Lily Phillips, and McDonald will get to the line.
Donald looking to get adding to that total of 7 back in the first half. Probably 3 or 4 offensive rebounds already in this third period for Kat McDonald.
Takes care of business on the first. Veets comes into the lineup, replacing Sam Ryan.
And the Redmen are doing this offensively tonight with only 3 points thus far for Sam Ryan.
Donald does her job, takes care of both free throws. Redmen with their largest lead of the night of 5. And a backcourt. Sydney Spencer realized that as soon as she threw it back.
Yep, Coach Tarpey doing a nice job of coaching on the sidelines there, telling her young player, you get it at the midcourt, you turn and look up the court instead of back.
Redmond looking to take advantage of the miscue. Adams launches it in and out. They have been letting her let it fly tonight. Ball hits the floor, recovered by Veets, right in the hands of Mora. In and out of a couple hands, and we're having a foul here. This one goes against the home team. Hold goes against Adams for the first foul of the second half for the Redmen. .5:10 remaining in our third quarter, and the Hillies turn it right back into the hands of the Redmen. Tewksbury 30, Haverhill 25. Much needed game for each of these teams. The Redmen 2-5, Haverhill 3-5.
Malazia with the reach in over the top.
There are substitutions in for the Redmen. Oth and Negrici in. Adams and Malzia out. Still a 2-possession game inside the Romano. Ortiz working around a couple of jerseys out of the trap. Spencer releases. Redmond with numbers on the run out. Perfectly done for Kat McDonald for the layup.
Textbook. Great feed up the court to Pitcher on the left wing, and she just whipped it across the court to a cutting Oth, who laid it in.
McDonald. McDonald the layup.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But nevertheless, still a picture-perfect run out by the Tewksbury Redmen. You grab the defensive board, and you're in the front court just like that.
Did you say pitcher perfect?
Pitcher perfect. Did I? I don't even know. That didn't even come out.
Emily Pitcher? Nonetheless,
yeah.
It was a tremendously executed fast break by the Redmond Ball Club. A 7-point lead now in this ball game, and you know we talk so often about previous games because that's what we base what we're talking about here tonight. And you know, 19 was the number. Their average coming into the earlier game this week was 32.
33 points per game.
Give or take. Yeah. They're right at it right now with still just over a quarter and a half left to play.
And they had some good offensive possessions back on Tuesday night against the Scarlet Knights. They put up 41 against a very good team in the MVC1. And now putting on a strong performance tonight on a game they much needed in order to break a 3-game losing streak.
And off the timeout, they're going to put some full court pressure on. Let's see how the Hillies respond.
Haverhill in a hole now, down by 7 with 4:30 to play in the third. Gonna have to rely on the freshman trio, Mora, Ortiz, and Phillips, to get them back into it. Allie Powell's into the game for the first time tonight. Loses it. Pitcher with some speed. Trying to drop it off by Mora, but that back check and able to steal it away.
Love a good hockey reference.
Perfect way to describe it.
It was, actually. Safe to say that when you make a hockey reference, you're in your zone.
Got that one too.
Like
threes. Yeah, you're just all over the place tonight. I love it.
Kick saving a beauty.
I love it. Halfway through quarter number 3. Tewksbury up by 7. Spencer's going to let it fly again. She's one of the better shooters on this team, but there's been a cup on the rim tonight, but there she is on the defensive end, paying back. Oth with the steal away from Powell. Leaves it for Veets. Another nice dish by Kat McDonald, who's having an impressive second half.
Absolutely, and a great finish by Viets on the inside. The lead is up to 9, the largest of the ball game.
Redmond lead 34-25. Phillips from the wing, needed it for the Hillies. Now a 6-point game.
Stems the tide momentarily.
Grishey with her feet on the line. There's Ballard climbing the ladder for the board. Hillies in transition. Powell runs right into a wall and a blocking foul against DeGrishy.
Tough call there. DeGrishy was there last night. That's how long she was in the lane waiting for the contact. I think Joel McNaught agreed with my assessment of that call right there.
He wanted the charge.
Yes, he did.
Haverhill reverses Mora with some traffic. Ballard the board. Kicks it out and Haverhill will reset on offense. Mora in the painted area. Nice touch right inside the paint taken by Ortiz.
Well, they've cut it down to 4. It was 9 a moment ago. A 5-0 run here by the Hillies, climbing back into it.
That was a nice possession by Haverhill to grab the offensive board and then some picture-perfect ball movement. Oth had Mora lurking behind her. Oth swerves in and out of the defense. The Redmond lead, it was at 9 earlier in this third quarter. It's been trimmed to 4. Phillips, a little stop and go. Lost the ball. Ballard is hit on the way up. And some frustration from the Redmond at the defensive end. As the Hillies are creeping back into this ball game.
Chance to cut it to 2.
Another freshman on this team, Diamond Ballard, gets the line. Back to a one-possession game, just like that, as the Hillies have gone on a 6-0 run. Now a 7-0 run. It's just a 2-point Redmond lead with 1:45 left in our third quarter. Adams off the dribble.
She's got the green light there, didn't miss by much.
Hillies can tie with a bucket or take the lead with a 3. Moore in the post, the hook shot is true. And the Hillies have erased a 9-point deficit just like that in the third quarter.
16 in the ball game for the freshman Mora.
Adams couldn't keep a handle on it. And Vince, just like that, this game has flipped on its head.
In a blink.
Still 1:15 to play in the third. Ortiz gets fouled from the backside. Goes against Skylar Roth. Redmond, they've lost their groove in this third quarter.
Yeah, and they're picking up fouls left and right here, just one away from the bonus.
Nice set play off the inbound, but a travel beforehand, no bucket. Redmond catch a break as they were caught sleeping off the inbound, excuse me.
And that could have been the third foul on Mora. So a turnover nonetheless, but if you're Coach Tarpey, you're glad it was a travel and not a foul.
In out of the fingertips of Sam Ryan. Under 55 seconds to go in the third. Low block for Spencer, and the Hillies have the lead. They've gone on an 11-0 run, and Coach McNaught needs to use a timeout.
Slipped away quickly. Defensive intensity picked up for the Hillies, and they started to ramp things up offensively. As you said, now an 11-0 run for the Hillies, and it was not that long ago. It was a 9-point lead.
Redmond, they had a strong start to that third quarter, getting to the line in transition buckets, was really good, what we wanted to see from them to begin the third quarter, but this latter half has absolutely collapsed, and so has this lead, as now the Hillies are up by 2.
Crucial timeout, and really a timeout you didn't want to have to take with 44.8 seconds left in the period. But Coach McNoll had to take that because they really were seeing things get out of hand and slip away from them. After being up by 9, they now trail by 2. So let's see what they do coming out of the timeout to get a good look at the bucket.
And to add fuel to the fire, Haverhill just needs to draw one more foul against the Redmen in order to be in a bonus situation that they could use for the entirety of the fourth quarter. We thank you for joining us tonight on Tewksbury TV alongside Vince Allo. My name's Andrew Del Piana. 44.8 seconds to go in our third quarter. The Hillies currently on an 11-0 run to take a 36-34 lead. A big game in the MVC for each of these teams. Ryan took the contact, the offensive board, and it falls.
Love the fact that Coach McNoll out of the timeout wanted to get the ball in the hands of Sam Ryan, and she converted.
Shot clock is dead. Game is tied at 36. Mora trying to free herself some space, and that is the 7th foul against the Redmen in this second half. Haverhill goes to the bonus. And that's going to be key for the fourth quarter, Vince.
16 in the ball game already for Mora.
She's been fun to watch.
Just a freshman.
She's definitely got an MVC All-Conference written all over her name over the next couple of seasons, if not this year.
I looked up Jaslyn Mora, and it said, a problem. And she's living up to it.
Does her job at the free throw line. A 2-point Hilly lead, 15 seconds to go in our third quarter. Mora just decided to take that foul against Oth. That's going to be her 3rd personal, but just the 2nd team foul against Haverhill. Mora picks up her 3rd and will get a breather. Redmond can hold for the last shot of this quarter. Ryan turns the corner up with the left and draws the foul. It's Sydney Spencer who commits the crime.
Ryan kind of quiet offensively here tonight. Only 5 in the ball game. Looking to add to that. Team trailing by 2.
Definitely been a better shooting night for the Redmen, including the free throw line. Ryan too strong on the 2nd free throw. Oth earns the offensive board. Lavarnia the 3. Redmen have time for one more. Sam Ryan step back, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. We are 24 minutes down and 8 to go inside the Romano. The Hillies use an 11-0 run in that third quarter to storm back in this game and take the lead. Our score, Haverhill 38, Tewksbury 37. We got an exciting fourth quarter coming your way from the Romano. Again, if you're just joining us, Andrew Del Piana, Vince Allo, live tonight on Tewksbury TV. As I just mentioned, Haverhill, an 11-0 run to erase a 9-point Redmond lead. And Haverhill, they played very well in the latter of that half to earn themselves this lead. And for both teams, it's important 8 minutes left in this game.
Absolutely, and you got to keep an eye again on Mora, the talented freshman, already with 18 points in the ball game. Double figures with McDonald for the Redmen with 11, leading the scoring for Tewksbury Memorial High School. So we got a good one coming up here. Final frame of regulation, we have to say, when it's close like this. A 1-point game, and it's what you like to see on a Friday night.
Absolutely. They're bringing us the Friday night lights here inside of TMHS. Haverhill 3-5, Tewksbury 2-5. Somebody's got to come out of here with a victory. Both these teams will get another matchup on Tuesday to begin their week. Haverhill will be hosting the Drake at Middies. Start their week next week. And for the Redmen, they'll be at Lawrence on Tuesday. Redmond basketball to begin quarter number 4, with the Redmen trailing by 1. Back on Tuesday, the Redmen were just held to 3 points in 1 made field goal in the final quarter. Cat McDonald, another offensive board, but rushed the possession a little too quickly. Good deny from McDonald to keep it away from Ortiz. Now they get it to him. Ballard couldn't handle the pass. More of the offensive board. Spencer, back iron. Haverhill's going to reset with another fresh 35 on the shot clock. Ortiz wants the ISO against McDonald. .12 to shoot for Haverhill. Ortiz off the kick. Ballard, another offensive board, but Haverhill gets nothing out of a couple of opportunities. McDonald able to escape the traffic, and the Redmen offense goes to work. Adams, the Euro step through the lane. What a week Alyssa Adams has had.
Yep.
Redmen regain the lead, leading by 1. In the middle, Ortiz gets it back, a floater of her own, falls. That was a beautiful teardrop.
Trio starting to heat up here in this 4th.
Back and forth we go inside the Romano. 2 minutes played, the Hillies up by 1. Ortiz slices through the Redmen. Mora on the follow-away, Ballard right there, and 1. Diamond Ballard been all over the offensive glass to begin this 4th quarter, and she's rewarded.
Wow, what a move. I'm gonna call the lane rough, because that was Diamond in the rough right there for the Hillies. The putback and the foul. And the conversion off the 3-point play. It's now a 4-point lead for the Hillies.
A key 3-point play for the Hillies on that possession. The offensive boards are adding up. Ryan with the ball fake. Now we'll go up with the open lane.
Nobody turned around on the weak side to pick up Sam Ryan. Badly needed bucket for the Redmen to cut it to 2.
Timeout taken by Melissa Tarpey, a very smart one at that. As the Redmen, that was a nice trap they had protecting the half-court line.
Oh, did Coach McNaught want that turnover?
Absolutely.
Oh, in the worst way.
Now we got ourselves a ball game with 5:21 to go. 43-41, Haverhill on top. And as you mentioned, Vince, the freshman trio really starting to come alive now. We've seen a lot more of opportunities for Yamilet Ortiz.
She's got 4 in this second half now. She's starting to make it work.
And she's been distributing the ball even better in this second half.
You talk about the trio, but someone who's given Coach Tarpey a lot of good minutes off the bench is another freshman, Diamond Ballard. She's got 7 in the ball game, including a big 3-point conversion the last time the Hillies had the basketball.
A number of offensive and defensive rebounds. She's done her job on the glass.
Hillies will have it at midcourt after that timeout they took, and let's see what they execute off the timeout and how the Redmen can respond.
Have Ortiz running the far side, but stolen by McDonald, who ties things up with Phillips. Redmond basketball. Not what head coach Melissa Tarpey wanted to see out of the TO. Five minutes and change to play in the ball game. Haverhill leading by 2. Pitcher in the corner. Air ball. Off keeps it alive. Pitcher lets it go again. Veets has it poked away at the last moment.
Great job by Riley Veets to sneak in on the inside of the right side block down there. Off the air ball. Keeping the ball alive for the Redmen and another opportunity.
But a couple of air balls doesn't reset the shot clock. Pitcher now will go inside the paint. And after 2 air balls, sticks with it with a layup.
The left-handed layup, I might add. Executed to perfection by Emily Pitcher, and here's the steal.
Sam Ryan reads that pass like a book, but throws it right into the hands of Ortiz in the foul against Oth. Getting a little too physical with number 22. As we mentioned, going into the 4th quarter, Haverhill in a bonus. One more will now put them in a double bonus, just at the 1-1 right now. Coach Joel McNaught using his entire bench tonight, taking on a thin Hilly team that's trying to use as much of their legs as possible in this 4th quarter. The miss by Ortiz. All square at 43. Off the catch, can't find the bank. Veets, another offensive board, and she gets fouled.
Riley Veets just does not give up, follows the possession, picks up another offensive rebound, and she's rewarded with 2 at the free throw line.
I think a message really got sent to her tonight coming off the bench for the first time this season that, hey, my play has got to pick up. And we've seen it over these last couple of possessions, Vince.
More possessions you can give your ball club, that makes you so valuable.
Knocks down 1 of 2. The Redmen lead by 1 with 4:30 to go. The Redmen protecting that timeline, but Haverhill gets it over. Goes in the hands of Ortiz, who calls Moore out of her way. The Redmen in his zone defense. In and out of the hands of Ortiz. Halfway through the 4th, Tewksbury 44, Haverhill 43. A much better 4th quarter from the Redmen tonight. Ryan works her way through, and Mora getting a piece of her arm. That's Moore's 4th.
Yep,
she's got to be careful.
Yeah, it's a big foul right there. And Ryan using her strong hand, that left side, on the left side of the lane. She'll be at the line to shoot 2.
Phillies have been in a lot of tight battles this season. As Coach Harpy makes the move to put Mora to the bench and put Sydney Spencer back in. Ryan makes it a 3-point game.
10 in the ball game now for Ryan, starting to heat up.
Ortiz throws it away. The half-court trap has been very prominent for the Redmen. McDonald off the catch. No good. Ortiz, she's had a tough time putting a handle on that basketball. Haverhill ball. The Hilly's getting a little sloppy, trying to break out of the trap.
Thanks in part to the defensive intensity being put on out there by the Redmen, really picking up the defensive tempo.
Ortiz to the far wing. Now we'll go low block. Phillips and 1, works her way through the contact of Pitcher to go up strong.
That drop step was lethal. Showed the ball to the paint and then drop stepped on the block side and laid it in and picked up the foul.
Just the spark that Haverhill needed.
Talk about the talented freshman. That was a senior move right there.
Just one of the 2 seniors on this ball club, Haley Phillips. Mentioned her a couple of times already. 2nd team all-conference for her back last campaign. Trying to do as much as she can leadership-wise to take this team to another level in her final season. She makes the N1, and Joel McNaught takes the timeout with 3:20 to go in our 4th quarter. Haverhill 46, Tewksbury 46. We got a good one.
Yeah, and you talk about the play on the inside. So many post players, they get the ball in that position and they rush. They think, I got to do something with it. Phillips calmly surveyed the situation, showed the ball to the lane on the inside and dropped her back foot, and you can see that completely sealed the defender off. Nicely done off the window. That's someone there that has worked on post play. You could definitely see it because it's all in the footwork, and she displayed it.
And her rendition was a little bit better than yours, Vince, but, you know.
I mean, I wasn't a post player.
I'll give you the credit for it.
if I went inside the three-point line at either end, I got a nosebleed. So my court was top of the key to top of the key, offense and defense.
Well, Haley Phillips is in the low block, as we saw in that last move. But an important 3:20 left in regulation. Maybe we'll see some extra time. We'll find out in the latter half of this game. But 46-46, what is both coaches telling their teams right now?
Well, Coach Joel McNote is talking about, obviously, get the ball to the playmakers, and that starts and ends with Samantha Ryan and Emily Pitcher that are out there together right now. So those two have to have their hands on this possession. And keep an eye on Riley Veach. She's been very sneaky out there getting offensive rebounds. The other way, obviously, you can go inside to Phillips, and you can rely on the outside presence of Mora.
Mora's got to be careful, though. She's got 4 fouls to her name. One more, and she will foul out. Sam Ryan right out of the timeout as she drives. She's had a much improved fourth quarter from earlier in this game. She's just been a lot more aggressive with that left hand, Vince.
Yep, the last two people that touched the ball in that possession, Pitcher and Ryan.
Ryan can't get the first to go. One more Haverhill foul will put the Redmen in a 1-and-1 bonus. Ryan misses both. Gets her own rebound. Veach stays with the play to keep it alive. And this foul goes against Haverhill. And that's Moore's 5th.
Wow.
What a sequence once again by Riley Veach.
Veach just sniffed that one out again. Probably the 3rd time in this period alone that she has been there to give the Redmen additional possessions.
I believe we're going to get a timeout on the floor here, as that is Moore's 5th foul. She is done for the night.
Although she's still in the huddle. I don't know if she realizes that. I think Ballard's going to come in for her.
Yep. That's unfortunate for the Hillies, but incredible night for the freshman, number 23.
18 in the ball game. She has got some career ahead of her.
It's the final time we'll see her tonight. As Riley Veach grabs another offensive board to keep that possession alive. Sam Ryan gets fouled as the Redmen are now in a 1-and-1. Rattles home the first. The Redmen lead 47-46 with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left in the fourth. Ryan goes 2 of 2. Haverhill was out one of their freshman trio for the rest of the night. Ortiz no good on the 3. Pitcher wants to run. And Lily Phillips is not happy with the foul.
Emily Pitcher had one thing in mind when she got that rebound. I'm taking it the length of the floor. And even with the basketball, she's the fastest player out there, and she showed it on that possession.
Definitely a player that's come into her own a little bit more this year. We saw her a couple times last year in her freshman campaign, but the jump she's made off the bench and now in a starting role tonight has been very prominent for the Redmen.
Lead up to 4 now for Tewksbury.
Redmen got to lock down the defensive end. The lead is 4. Phillips in the post, the Kareem hook. Rebound for McDonald. Coach Joel McNault wanted to talk things over. With 2:34 to play, he uses a timeout.
He realized that at this juncture, 2:34 left on the clock, a 4-point lead. This is a crucial possession. They have to get a good look at the bucket here coming out of this timeout.
And the Redmen, time is their friend at the moment. You don't have to rush up a shot with 20 seconds left in the shot clock. You have the lead up by 4. Now Haverhill, They're in a tough spot right now, losing their best player tonight, Jaslyn Moore, who's finished with 16 points.
18,
excuse me. And now the Redmen, the question is, will they be able to close out tonight? It's been a struggle for them over the last couple of seasons. We know Haverhill's capable of going on a nice little run, as we saw in that third quarter, but can the Redmen turn the tide and get to 3-5 after tonight? That is the question.
19 points in the first quarter, only 5 in the second, 13 in the third, and already 12 here in this fourth for a total of 50. So they have really put together some good offensive quarters in the last couple of games.
And it's a much better performance than we saw from them in the final quarter of Tuesday night's loss against North Andover. Just the 3 points on the one made field goal. It's not something that you want to have happen in an MVC matchup, and a close matchup at the time against North Andover. But these are the games you've got to have when you look back at your season.
Let's see what they do out of the timeout.
A 4-point Redmond lead with 2:30 to play. What do the Redmen have for us out of the timeout? Pitcher on the backdoor feed, a pitcher of perfect play. What a night it's been for number 12 in white.
Number 12 with 12 in the ball game.
Ortiz, the pull-up jumper, she can't answer. Coach McNaught instructing his team to slow things down, use the clock as your friend, up by 6. 2 minutes to play. Veets fires. Jump ball between Pitchard and Ballard. It'll be Haverhill basketball with the possession arrow.
As great a game as Riley Veets has played, that may not have been the shot that Coach McNaught wanted. However, there's still plenty of time in this ball game for her to make a big play, clearing the offensive or defensive glass for the Redmen.
Haverhill down by 6 with the basketball, 1:45 left. Who are they going to turn to with Mora done for the night? Spencer with the power move up by the left, can't fall. Haverhill gets a fortunate bounce as the Redmen can't control the glass. 1:36 and a fresh 35. Spencer gets the open look. Ballard, offensive board. Last off of McDonald. Haverhill keeps the ball. Spencer finds Hillups as Veets lose their footing. Ryan throws it away, stolen by Ortiz. Ballard gets the layup. 4-point game with 1:10. So Varnia had the open shot, made the smart move to keep it in her possession, and the Hillies have to foul.
Great job by the senior, realizing, like you said a little bit ago, time is on their side. No need to rush it. And the end result is you get 2 free throw attempts.
1-1.
I'm going to say 2 because she's going to make the first.
All right, you got it.
Why'd you let me do that, man?
60 seconds. Haverhill down by 4 with the ball. They throw it away. Great read by Kat McDonald. Showing why she's a senior captain of this team with the intercept. And then Sam Ryan is fouled by Haley Phillips. 4-point Redmond lead, 46.5 seconds left. Now the Redmen will shoot 2.
I was going to say, now they're going to get 2.
Ryan hits the first.
She's been automatic here in this 4th period at the free throw line.
A timeout taken before the second one, as Melissa Tarpey wants to talk things with the Hillies. 46.5 seconds to play. Redmen just need to knock down this free throw, make a couple of defensive stops, and you're out of the Romano with a victory.
Yep, and the key here for Coach McNaught, obviously Ryan, make the second free throw and just get defensive rebounds every chance you can now. If the Hillies get the shot attempt and it misses, you have to clear the glass. You cannot give them additional looks at the bucket at the offensive end.
Sam Ryan still with 1 free throw to remain 46.5 seconds left in regulation. Redmond on the verge of snapping a 3-game skid. Ryan returns to the line with 1 free throw. Knocks him down. 2-possession game. Hilly's got to go. Trying to force it inside to Phillips, stolen. Foul comes in. But Coach McNault called a timeout before the foul.
Which is kind of odd because the official in front of him called the foul. The official on the baseline called the timeout.
And what can you do?
What can you do? Nonetheless, it's going to be Redmond basketball, 37.5 ticks left in the fourth. Got that 6-point lead, so just at this point, you want the ball in the hands of your best free throw shooters because you know the Hillies are going to foul. So make them pay when they put them in that situation, then they can walk out of here with a victory on a Friday night.
You talk about the ability to close out games, and as we mentioned it beforehand a bunch of time, Vince, Tuesday night, did not see the better showing of that, just 3 points in the fourth quarter. When you had a very competitive game against a very good North Andover team. You do your job here in the fourth quarter, you get rewarded. And we mentioned beforehand in that third quarter, the Hillies go on the 11-0 run. How would the Redmond able to answer back in this fourth quarter? And they've done it tonight.
And you know, the key takeaway really, outside of the second period, they've really had no droughts offensively. So, you know, we know what they're capable of with the 19 points in the third quarter on Tuesday night and pretty consistent scoring here tonight minus that second quarter. And that's what they're capable of doing night in and night out. So this is definitely something they can build upon.
Again, 37.5 seconds left. Redmond basketball on their own baseline. Up by 6. Got to get the ball in the hands of your best free throw shooter. Hilly's got to be able to foul, though, and they do. This one goes against Ortiz. Pitcher will go to the line. Sophomore has had an incredible night, making her first start of the season. Joel McNault switched up the starting lineup going into tonight. Goes without Victoria Catanzano. Went to 3 new players at the start. Pitcher, Malzia, and Adams, and it's paid dividend. Pitcher gets 1 of 2. It's a 7-point lead with 30 seconds left. Haverhill's got to get the ball to the bucket. Malzia, great defense against Phillips. And it's Redmond ball. 18.9 seconds. Worked the inbound to McDonald, but last off of the Redmen.
Great hustle by Ortiz.
Down by 7. Melissa Tarpe uses another timeout. 18.1. Hilly's doing their job to try to stay in this game for as long as possible. It starts with plays like that by Ortiz. So Redmond, you can't get careless at the end of games like this.
And you can't foul either. You know, and allow the Hillies an opportunity to put points on the board with the clock stopped. So they're both over that bonus limit here for both ball clubs. So just slide your feet and let the clock be your friend, really.
Take a look at the road ahead for each of these teams. For Haverhill, they'll be back at home at Haverhill High School on Tuesday night, taking on the Drake at Middies in another MVC battle. For the Redmen, that'll end their homestand tonight. We'll be back on the road at Lawrence High School on Tuesday to take on the Lancers. Still a job to do here at the Romano with 18.1 to go. Haverhill basketball down by 7. The Hillies need a miracle. Redmond denying the inbound and tied up by Pitcher. Perfectly done.
Took a couple of ticks off the clock as well.
Redmond get on the jump ball. They have the possession arrow. McDonald finally gets fouled as precious seconds come off the time.
Donald a chance to ice it right here.
Barring any miracle, what a gritty win this is for the Redmen tonight.
Being that this is your last game, as you head back to school, you going to do the gritty when you leave?
I don't think so.
No? No.
Because a gritty win equals a gritty?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know about that one, partner. Ortiz, mid-range, off. Jump ball, it'll be Haverhill ball. 2.8 seconds to play, the Redmen up by 8.
They're going to skate out of here with a victory. A badly needed victory for Coach McNulty and his ball club.
Inbound intercepted by Lavarnia. She'll get fouled with .8.
Could have let that one go, I think.
The crowd will come to their feet. Here, a round of applause for the Redmen and their effort tonight. As you mentioned, Vince, a much-needed win to get off a 3-game losing streak. Ball will come into play, but that will do it from the Romano tonight. The Redmen are victorious on their home floor. Our final score, the Tewksbury Redmen 57, the Haverhill Hillies 48. Vince, final thoughts from the win here on Friday night.
Well, just a great team effort. Balanced scoring by the Redmen. Tremendous defense, good hustle by Pitcher and Feets. They chipped in and gave the energy back to this Redmen ball club that they badly needed. And for the Hillies, got to tell you, freshmen loaded.
Yeah.
They're going to be a force over the next several seasons for Coach Tarpey. So a badly needed win for Coach McNulty. They'll be on the road Tuesday in Lawtown. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
And as you mentioned, the Redmen, they got buckets and defense from just about everyone tonight, and that's what you needed to be in order to beat a talented team in the Haverhill Hillies. With the win, the Redmen able to break a 3-game losing streak. They are now 3-5 on the season. For the Hillies, they dropped this one and sit at 3-6. Our final one more time, Tewksbury 57, Haverhill 48. Vince, just want to say thank you.
Got it, brother. Good seeing you, man.
Last couple of months.
I'll keep an eye on you on Twitter and everything to see what you're up to up there in Syracuse,
Absolutely.
man. Keep up the good work.
It's been a pleasure this last couple of months, and thank you for our entire crew at Tewksbury TV. Final one more time, Tewksbury 57, Haverhill 48. The Redmen are victorious tonight inside the Romano. For our entire crew at Tewksbury TV, we say so long and good night from the Romano. Vince Allo and Andrew Del Piana. Have a great Friday night.